Peace and love, family. I am Oshun Yinka, your favorite womb goddess. If we are meeting for the first time, welcome in. 10 times out of 10, you stumbled across this content because you are on a wellness journey and you are ready to experience your soft girl era. So you are in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscription button if you are looking for ways to tap into your femininity and heal womb trauma naturally. If we are not meeting for the first time, you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, that share button, and drop some purple hearts down in the comments so that we can get in good graces with the YouTube guys. So today we are talking about how to have a pain-free menstrual cycle. So if that's something that you want to discuss, go ahead and keep watching and we'll get right into it. So today we're talking about how to have a painless menstrual cycle because against popular belief, a lot of times we are told that menstrual pain, PMS, and things like that are normal. It's just a part of life. You're just supposed to deal with it. And it is not true. It's the farthest thing from the truth. It is not true. You are not supposed to be feeling premenstrual symptoms, and that's what PMS means for some of y'all who do not know. But you're not supposed to be experiencing premenstrual symptoms. If you are experiencing premenstrual symptoms of any kind, that is your body sending you signals that there is some type of inconsistency or something that should not be there, or you're doing something that it does not like. And if you do not handle it when you're getting those symptoms, then it's pretty much warning you, hey, you're going to have a pretty fucked up period if you don't handle these prior to it. So premenstrual symptoms are not normal. And if you are experiencing them, then 10 times out of 10, you are also experiencing painful or uncomfortable menstrual cycles as well. So the intention of this video is for me to educate you on why you're experiencing PMS and ways to avoid it so that you can have a painless period. So let's get right into it. So understanding what PMSing is, like I just said, it is just your body warning you that there's something wrong, and if you don't fix it, you're gonna have a painful period. That's literally all PMSing is. There's no science behind as to it being normal or anything that's supposed to happen. Just like anything else in your body, if you have a headache, 10 times out of 10 is because it's warning you there's something else. There's something else is going on. I personally hate when people act like their body is not the most intelligent being on the planet. Like, your body does not miss a beat. Your body will never cause you harm intentionally. Your body is always here to protect you and to communicate with you so that you can have a better quality of life. So when I hear people say things like, oh, that's normal, or, I have stage 4 cancer and I didn't know. Like, no, maybe you didn't know that you had cancer, but at the same time, your body has been warning you. Don't act like you did not have any symptoms at all to let you know that something was going on. Your body is always communicating with you. So PMS is a form of communication. It is a form of a warning. And this is for any symptom of any kind, but we're just specifically talking about how to have a painless period. So to first have a painless period, you have to pay attention to your PMS symptoms. You have to be able to pay attention to what your body is telling you is going on and being able to identify those things so that you can handle them before you start menstruating. And these are also tips that you can do while you're menstruating as well. So, for example, there are multiple PMS symptoms: headaches, nausea, bloating, fatigue, mood swings, tender boobs. Like, there's a lot of cramping. There's a lot of PMS symptoms, and a lot of those look the exact same way as regular menstrual symptoms, especially being that most people just, pop drugs to avoid the pain or the discomfort that they're feeling. They don't actually look at the root of the problem. So when it comes to addressing or being able to listen to your body when it's telling you this during premenstrual symptoms, what you want to do is to actually analyze what you're feeling. So if you are feeling, for example, specifically tender boobs, if your boobs are known for getting tender, and this is how you know, hey, my period is about to come on, that is a sign that you probably drink way too much caffeine. you have a very high sugar and a high fat diet. That also typically means that you are you might smoke, and it also might mean that you have a very high salt intake as well. So if you're feeling tender breasts, then those are some of the symptoms of that. That's also the same thing for headaches. So if you're feeling a lot of headaches as far as your premenstrual symptoms, those are the same qualities the same symptoms as well that you might not same symptoms, Lord, I can't speak. Those are some of the same reasons why you might be feeling headaches as well during your premenstrual symptoms. So if we want to break down what exactly is happening with cramps, because a lot of people I hear, like, they say that cramping is normal. Your doctors will tell you that cramping is normal. A normal amount of cramping is expected during menstruation. Y'all, that is not true. It's not true at all. There's no such thing as normal pain. Pain should not exist within your temple. There is no such thing as normal amount of pain. There should not be pain at all. We have to stop normalizing pain. Pain is not something that, and especially as women of color, we endure a lot of pain, and we endure a lot because we've been through a lot, and we're still going through a lot as Black women. So we tend to normalize a lot of pain internally and externally because it's like, oh, well, it's not that bad. That goes back to being in survival mode. That goes back to not being heard in the healthcare industry. That goes back to us being undermined and not being supported and listened to. We have to stop normalizing pain, and it starts with ourselves. It starts with, how are you treating the pain and discomfort that you are feeling within yourself? If you are somebody who ignores your pain or your symptoms yourself, then it's highly likely that you also don't have boundaries when it comes to other people inflicting pain on you. Not even just physical pain, but this could be emotional pain. It could be psychological pain. Whatever the case is, when you start to allow abuse to happen to your body, that you cause, this is self-inflicting. When you start to normalize that pain, it's very likely that you're going to allow that to spill over into your relationships and experiences outside of you. So let's start our healing process with learning how to not normalize pain. Anytime you are feeling pain, it is for a reason. Your body is communicating something that is wrong, and it wants you to fix it. I see this way too often with women, ignoring their cramps, ignoring their their nausea. They're ignoring all of this because they're being told that this is okay, and this is just a part of premenstrual symptoms. It's just a part of being a woman. And then you 10 years later are diagnosed with fibroids, diagnosed with cysts, and now being suggested to get a hysterectomy, when you could have just paid attention to the signs in the beginning and handled it then, and not waited, because nothing is normal about you being in pain. The Creator would not have punished us in that way. Us being, the goddesses that we are, the universe would not have punished us in that way. So let me before I go into a rant, let's get back to why you're actually feeling these cramps. Why are you actually feeling them? So when you are feeling menstrual cramps or any type of cramps in the body, this is because of this like hormone like, so I don't necessarily think it's an actual hormone, but it's a hormone like substance called prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are this is in humans and in animals, but it's pretty much like a hormone like symptom that attaches to different tissues, and the way that it heals is its sole purpose is to fight infections and fight inflammation. And the way that it heals in pain. It may give you a fever, it may give you nausea, it may give you constipation or diarrhea. That's just the way that it heals. So when you are feeling very, very high, severe cramping and severe nausea and things like that, that is because there is an inconsistency with your hormones, and that prostaglandins is trying to heal that infection, trying to heal that inflammation, trying to heal whatever has caused it. And the way that it heals, the the reaction of it trying to heal it is what's causing the pain. So when you are actually menstruating, your uterus indeed is contracting to your lining. That is a contraction that is happening, but that contraction should not feel like pain. At the most, it should feel a little pressure. When you're ovulating, you might feel this as well, but you might feel a little pressure, but you should not be feeling actual pain, like a stabbing feeling, or feeling like you can't move, or to the point where you want to take drugs to relieve it. That should never be the case. Should you feel something? Yes, because there is actually something contracting when you are menstruating. Yes, there is something there, but that should not be equated to pain. There is no such thing as a normal amount of pain. Does that make sense, you guys? So when you are experiencing the side effects to prostaglandins doing its job, then you have to understand you need to understand what exactly is happening, and why does it need to be fighting right now? Why is it being overworked right now? What is it trying to heal? What is it trying to do? So one of the best ways to reduce the prostaglandins from having to actually show up is to get your blood flowing. How do you get your blood flowing? By moving. You need to be exercising. A lot of people, once we get on our periods, we want to sit around and eat junk food. We want to lay around, got the heating pad, don't want to be bothered, and things like that. But that is the complete opposite. We let the TV shows and things like that pretty much tell us how to behave. That's how we're conditioned to believe something. When you're going through, a heartbreak, go eat some ice cream. When you're feeling sad, go eat some sweets and things like that. So these are very toxic coping mechanisms that we've learned from, the media and from Hollywood. These are very toxic coping mechanisms that we learn to heal, and that is the complete opposite. So you may be craving sugar, you may be craving chocolate, you might be craving ice cream and things like that, but that is the last thing that you should be eating during your period, or any time for that matter. But this is the worst time for you to be eating those things, because it makes it worse. When it comes to working out and moving your body, if say you don't have the energy to do a full-blown workout, you still need to do some type of walking. You should do some light lifting. You should do some yoga. You can even do like swimming and things like that, like something soft. You can do some cardio, but the more you move your body, the more your blood will flow through your body, and then it won't get backed up somewhere where is now being forced to like cramp up because it is not flowing correctly. Does that make sense? So that's one thing. The next thing is to watch what you are putting in your mouth. Watch what you are eating, you guys. When you are on your period, this is a time for you to be essentially fasting. I know for me, and this is just me personally, but I've also seen it with, the women in my inner circle. A lot of times we don't really have that much of an appetite during our period. That is by design. Most of the time, like I know before, I was vegan, and before I was, conscious of my wellness and things like that on a wellness journey, I used to just eat Reese's for like 2 days. Like I didn't eat a real meal. I wasn't hungry or anything. I just used to eat Reese cups. Like literally that's all I ate for 2 days straight, because that's what I was craving. So I didn't eat anything. And this is typically when you are on your period, you're not really hungry. This is why we can snack all day and not really eat a real meal. Is because we're not really hungry. If you're actually, your body is functioning properly, then you would be using the bathroom a lot. As far as like detoxing, it will feel like you're detoxing. Like anything you eat could probably potentially have you on the toilet. That would be one way. And then you're also purging. So if you're looking at this as a purging season, you should honestly be detoxing. You should be very conscious on what you're putting in your body. You should be eating warm foods like soups and things like that, but nothing too greasy, or nothing greasy at all. If you can completely avoid grease, don't have anything greasy. Don't have anything cold whatsoever. You definitely should not be eating ice cream. You should be eating stuff that's warm. You should be eating things that nourish your body. You should not be eating anything that is cold. You should not be drinking anything that is cold. Not cold water, not ice cream, not, cold juice or anything like that. Papaya juice is one of the goats when it comes to papaya juice, and my herbal teas, like the heavy on the herbal teas. So raspberry leaf teas, Don Quay, these are some herbs. So raspberry leaf, Don Quay. You can also have some lavender. You can have some trying to think off the top of my head. Ashwagandha is a good one. Astragalus is a good one. Like, as far as like the herbs that you can just drink and they will help to relieve those menstrual pains. But I would say raspberry leaf and Don Quay will be my top two. And hibiscus is that girl. So those are my top three. If you are wanting to drink something, or if you want something warm, this is all you should be drinking. I would put those over water, but if you're drinking water, it needs to be room temperature spring water. But if you're drinking anything, it should be hibiscus. And hibiscus is easier to be found. You can find hibiscus in a grocery store anywhere, but Don Quay and raspberry leaf, you probably have to order them online. I haven't never seen them in my local stores, even in the international stores. But hibiscus you can pretty much get at a locals like farmers market, or like any type of international grocery store. Like any type of international grocery store, you can usually find some hibiscus there. And some of these tea brands, they also have hibiscus tea. I personally am somebody who reads labels very well, so make sure that is the only ingredient in the tea if you are just buying it over the counter. Don't just get a tea that's labeled PMS tea, or tea for cramps or something like that, and then on the back it got like 20 different herbs in it. Get hibiscus tea that only has hibiscus in it, and drink that throughout your period. That is going to relieve any type of cramps as well. Those are things that gets that blood flowing, that uterine blood flowing, and it relieves the cramping. So yes, again, your uterus is contracting, so there should be a contraction there, but that contraction should not be painful. So again, hibiscus, raspberry leaf, and Don Quay are the top 3 herbs that you can drink to avoid any type of painful menstruation. And being active, moving your body, and also sweating things out as well. So even if you was like to go into a sauna, we know that heat compresses work very well. So say if you're feeling like lower back cramps and things like that, like cramps are cramps, y'all. They're all from the prostaglandins. They're all from that trying to work. So you want to make sure that the least that you are eating, you should only probably be eating like once a day. I'm so serious about eating like once a day when you're on your period, and that one meal should be something very nourishing, and it could be something warm, but it doesn't have to be something warm. Like, you don't have to eat soup, but something warm, and not something like our typical soul food. Like, I want comfort food, and like we're naturally wanting comfort food. Like, I know I'm on my period, I'm typically eating some fufu. Like I'm typically eating some fufu, which is okay. Like, that's not the best thing to be eating. Like, y'all, I'm not perfect. Like, I don't always do everything like by the book every single cycle, but I would say like 10 times out of 12, I'm typically going to not have so much. And then another thing with fufu, like I'm still eating a soup, so I might have half the fufu instead of the whole thing, and then indulging in bigger portions of the soup, if that makes sense, you guys. So caffeine is something that I wish we would get out of that chokehold of in general. Like, we need to stop drinking caffeine. Caffeine is destroying your uterus. Caffeine is destroying your reproductive organs. Please get off this chokehold with y'all coffee. Get off of me. Y'all, there are so many other herbs. Like, get y'all some chai tea, get y'all some black tea, get y'all some some ashwagandha, something that's gonna give you a little some green tea, something to elevate your mood, something to give you some energy that does not require you to destroy your reproductive organs. In the meantime, like, you can still get, and even if you are a coffee drinker and you're trying to transition over to something like the same taste, y'all, I will have, and I've never been a heavy coffee drinker, but I did like coffee every now and then, like if I needed that boost, because I am very like low, I can't really handle that much caffeine. Like, my caffeine intake is like a infant. Like, I will literally, I used to have, like, I could drink maybe 8 ounces of Mountain Dew or any type of drink with caffeine in it. If I drink it after like 3 p.m., I'm going to be up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, even when I was on a schedule of going to sleep, but like at an early time, like I was in a bed like before 12, I would be up till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning if I had caffeine after 3 p.m. Like, that's just me. That's just my tolerance. But for some of y'all, you're not even drinking the coffee for, the energy or the alertness. You're drinking it because you're addicted to it. You're drinking it because you just like that taste. So if you like that taste, get into chicory. I think that's how you pronounce it, but chicory is CHICORY. That gives you that roasted coffee taste. When I tell you it tastes just like coffee, it tastes just like coffee. And what I would do is I'll have that, and then I'll mix in some black chai tea to that as well. Steep it like I would do any other tea, and that will literally have the exact same effect that you get with coffee, without the dairy, without the caffeine. It will do the exact same thing without destroying your reproductive organs. Okay, so try different alternatives before y'all just be like, oh, I can't live without my coffee. I can't. Y'all, if we really want to, this is gonna be another video for another day, but if we really want to break down to why you drink coffee, 10 times out of 10, like if you are somebody who has to have coffee, it is because of other spiritual and mental reasons. It don't have nothing to do with the taste. It don't have nothing to do with you being addicted to it for that reason. It's typically because you feel unfulfilled. You're not doing what you want to do in life. You're literally just not you're not having you're not feeling you're burnout. You're not feeling energetic. You're not feeling naturally high. You're just going with the flow, or you're burnout and you're tired. You're exhausted. You're not getting enough sleep. It don't really have nothing to do with you loving coffee. You're just addicted to it because you're avoiding the other mental and spiritual things that you need to do. So that's just my take on coffee. Like, y'all, I really want us to get out of the chokehold of drinking coffee. But yes, if you are dealing with any type of other PMS symptoms, you want to make sure that you are cautious of what you're putting in your body. Stop drinking so much coffee or any type of caffeine. Stop eating so much sugar, processed foods, and things like that your body simply is not having an easy time digesting and breaking down. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to your body. Like, don't reward yourself with things that are causing you harm. Find healthier alternatives to make yourself feel good. If you feel low, if you feel like your emotions aren't there, like as far as on your period, having mood swings, or you feel like this depressive or anxiety, then don't just go to comfort food, or find other foods that comfort you. Foods that comfort you should be foods that actually make you feel good, not just foods that taste good that you're associating with making you feel good. Because if it makes your body still feel bad after it, is it really comforting you? Come on, you guys, we gotta do better. So that's all I have for you guys. Just to recap, some of the ways to have a painless period. For one is to make sure you get your body moving, stretch a little, get hot and get your body warmed up so that your blood can flow. Don't just lay around in the fetal position. Make sure that you're moving your body, and that is going to relieve that pain. For two, make sure that you are eating things that are warm, eating and drinking things that are warm and that are not high in fat, high in sugar, high in salt, no caffeine or artificial sugars in any way. Avoid those completely, and not overeating in general. Take this time to actually honor your womb, honor your body for it being amazing as a womb holder. Make sure that you are, pampering yourself in a healthy way. And then for 3, making sure that the foods that you are eating or the foods that you are drinking, drinks that you are drinking are nutritionists and they are helping you on this journey. So hibiscus, Don Quay, red raspberry leaf, all of the those are the top 3 herbs that you can drink, the teas that you can drink throughout your period that will eliminate the pain. And I promise you, you guys, once you get through this the first time, and this is what you start to do when you feel PMS symptoms. So if you start this the week before your period, it's likely that, I know for sure, you're going to have a lighter period, you're going to have an easier period. But once you're on your period and you start to do those things as well, then that's what makes it painless. But you want to first pay attention to the signs in the beginning when you're having premenstrual symptoms. Pay attention to those signs and start to act on them then. Get out of the habit of putting a band-aid on big problems so that they don't keep snowballing into things that's going to cause you to have bigger problems like actual hormonal dysfunction and diagnosis like that actually could be more harder to heal from. So thank you so much for watching this. Let me know down in the comments if y'all found value from this information. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it so much, and I appreciate you for trusting me with this information. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel because there's plenty more videos where this came from, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.